formula for a circle is this. You got two of them. X squared plus y squared is equal to r squared. There's two things that are important about a circle. Number one is the center of the circle. Here the center is 0, 0. Anybody else know what's important to know about a circle? When you think of circle, what other things come to mind? Radius. The radius is simply r. Now that's the equation of a circle if it's centered at 0, 0. If it's not centered at 0, 0, then it looks like this. X minus h, quantity squared, y minus k, quantity squared, equals r squared. It is confusing, and we'll work through it. Here, the center is not 0, 0. Instead, it is h, k. And the radius is still r. I don't think I have to show you too much for you to understand that x squared plus y squared is r squared is really the same thing as a squared plus b squared is c squared, right? Just the letters are changed. And so the Pythagorean theorem is the fundamental part of trigonometry, and it's pretty good. So we'll do a few examples here, and I'm confident you guys will get it pretty easy. It says graph the following equations. In order to do so, I want to identify two things. Number one, I want to identify the center, and number two, I want to identify the radius. Anybody look at that first one and tell me what the center is? We just listed it up above. Does it look like this one or that one? Top one or bottom one? Top one. So the center is 0, 0. So it starts right here. The radius, notice this is important. R squared is what's at the end. So 9 is the radius squared. So what would you square to get 9? So that's the radius. The radius is the square root of the thing on the end. So therefore, what I have is I'm going to go out 3 units from the center in each direction. And that's what x squared plus y squared equals 9 looks like. And I will go even further here. We've known each other well enough now that I can make this statement. If I give that problem to you on the test, I understand a little bit of a mistake. But if you leave it blank or give me an IDK, you're not trying hard enough. I think everybody can get that type of a problem once we practiced it. Would you agree? Everybody can get that problem eventually. Okay, let's move one that's a little bit more difficult. Does that look like the top or the bottom? Looks like the bottom. Okay, let's start with the easier part. What do you think the radius is of this one? 7. Now at first glance, what do you think the center might be? Take a guess. Looks like it might be -4, -3, right? But look at the formula. It says, if it says an x minus h, then the center is just h. So if it's an x minus 4, then the center is just 4. And it says y minus k. If it's y minus k, the center is at k. So for y minus 3, the center is at 3. So the center is opposite of what you think it would be. So if you see a -4, it's a +4. You see a -3, it's a +3 all the time. Yes. Yep, I'll give that formula to you on the test. So we'll plot 4, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And then you guys, I'm not going to have you be just super exact with your circles, but I'm going to try to have you make a best kind of a guess here. So if I go 7 units down, that will bring me all the way down to -4. If I go 7 units to the right, that will bring me all the way out to 11. If I go 7 units up, that would bring me all the way up to 10. If I go 7 units back, that would bring me all the way back to -3. So you just want to do your best to kind of construct it. Obviously, it's a horrible circle, but we're not going to have any competitions here. We're just going to do our best. So today, you're going to have two objectives. Number one, your objective is to, given an equation, identify the center and the radius and graph the circle. Your second objective is going to be to write an equation for the circle that satisfies the conditions. So this is no big deal. We're going to write down our formula. X minus h quantity squared plus y minus k quantity squared equals r squared. Remember that your center is hk, and this is your radius value. So what do I plug in for h? 4. So we have an x minus 4 quantity squared plus, what do I plug in for k? -6. So I have y minus a -6. Instead of writing y minus a -6, what should I write? Y plus 6 quantity squared is equal to, if 10 is your radius, I got to write radius squared, which is 100. Again, this is new to you, but these are all points I believe that we can get. Let's try it again. Let's do just a little bit more difficult. Well, center at -3, 0. So what do I plug in for h? So what will it look like? X minus or x plus? X plus 3 quantity squared plus, what do I put in for k? What is y minus 0? Just y, right? So if it's 0, you don't have to use the parentheses. You could just put y squared. Equals, uh-oh, now I'm confused. I got to square that thing, right? What does it mean to square something? So I'm going to take 2 roots of 6. I'm going to multiply it by 2 roots of 6. 2 times 2 is 4. Root of 6 times the root of 6. Root of 36, which is 6. 4 times 6 is 24. I'm going to give you an assignment. It's a worksheet, and we're going to go over 2 problems together on it, okay? Let me press pause. Put your notes away. First of all, I should be able to identify the center pretty straightforward here. What's the center? 0, 0. If it's just an x squared or just a y squared, it will be a 0. Is everybody clear on that? So then, in order to find the radius, I have to take the square root of that, right? Square root of 1 over 100. So, can you take the square root of the top? What do you get? 1. Can you take the square root of the bottom? What do you get? 10. So the radius is 1/10. So here's what I'll do. I'll mark that as 1, 1, 1, 1. Center here. So I suppose just 1/10 of a unit would be something like that. Darren wants to come up and draw a better circle than me. All right, give me another one on the front. 6, we'll do 6. What's the center? What's the x value for the center? 0. What's the y value for the center? Is it 1 or -1? It's 1. Radius. Uh-oh. Oh boy. Gotta take square root of that, huh? Square root of 50. Well, you guys are really good at reducing square roots because we practiced that. What's a perfect square you can take out of 50? So I got square root of 25 times square root of 2. What's square root of 25? So I got 5 roots of 2. So I'm going to plot 0, 1, which is right here. I'll have to go 5 roots of 2 in each direction. Anybody know what that is as a decimal? Like 7.2. 7.07, so about 7.1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm just going to go about 7 units in each direction. And you can estimate it again, you know. There you have it. So you can tackle the others on the front. Let's go to the back. Give me one on the back you want to do. I went over about 7 units. The square root of 50 is about 7.1. Okay, then on the back side, give me one. 15. All right, so I'm going to write my equation, x minus h, quantity squared. You don't have to do this every time. I'm just doing it so you can see it right now as I put it on the board. What? Because I'm an idiot. Thank you. I just make mistakes. Yep. So I just made this worksheet a couple hours ago because I didn't like the assignment I gave last year on this. And I like this worksheet a lot more. So if I see something I don't like, I try to change it to make sure you guys hopefully learn better. So what is this part going to look like if I plug in the 6? X minus 6, quantity squared. What is the second part going to look like? Just y squared. Now, my guess is the reason why you asked 15 is because you don't like the fraction, right? Not too big of a deal. We got to take that and square it. So what does it mean to square something? So I'll take it and I'll multiply by itself. You multiply fractions straight across. 2 times 2, 4. 5 times 5, 25. Yep, that's it. I'll do another one with you. One more. What do you want? 12? Center is -1, -1. What does the first part look like? X plus 1. Because it would be an x minus a -1, so we go x plus 1. Second part. Uh-oh, I got to square 2 roots of 3. How do I square something? Take it, multiply by itself. 2 times 2. Root of 3 times root of 3. Root of 9, which is 3. 12. Equation for a circle. Piece of cake, upside down. You guys got literally 20 minutes. You should have no problem doing this. Enjoy a night of very little homework.